And so your decision is as valid or as consequential or inconsequential as anything else. Um, People you wonder how life, why does anything happen the way it's happening? What is going on? Why am I doing what I'm doing moment to moment? And, we're kind of in this sort of haze and hypnosis that's not generally something that people try and think about or confront in themselves. But I mean, it's kind of a glaring point that you might want to investigate. I mean, and for a long period of my life, that was such a brutally overwhelming thing to bear. It's just how can I, who am I to choose anything in this world, or who am I to go one way or the other? Not so much that you think it's, or I'm not worthy or something, but just how do you make that decision? Why am I even here? What is God's choice? What is my choice? What is everything that's happening moment to moment? And it's just, yours is as good as any. Nobody knows for sure, but when you are not certain of who you are as a spiritual being, or just whatever you want to think of yourself as, when you're not comfortable with that, or confident in that, or self-realization, I guess, would be a better way of putting that. The process of meditation and what we're aiming towards with enlightenment is to become total, to become complete, and to be at a point where choice no longer burdens you. And almost everybody is split, going in different directions of where their mind thinks they should go, but they're not certain of it. They don't feel quite right about it, and they make concessions, they make compromises in all areas of their day-to-day experience, because they're just not quite at the point where we trust ourselves to do exactly what we want, because on some level we sense that we haven't settled into that kind of relaxed certainty that can be brought about through the process of meditation, through the Zen state, where there isn't that friction and kind of signal loss that is brought about by the default mode network and our ego and the mind essentially getting in the way of whatever it is that we're doing, whatever it is that we're experiencing, and then thought gets in the way and just kind of inserts this noise to it that really disrupts the process and creates that anxiety, as far as, is this the right thing to do? What am I really doing? What do I want out of life? Where am I headed? And all that. And so the practice of meditation becomes so important in order to reach that point of let go, of surrender. And with that surrender there comes a perfect kind of confidence, because it's just, you've let go, you've done everything, you've tried as much as you can to figure out what to do on your own in this great unknown that you're confronted with. And there's a point that has to be reached of just, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I don't know why I'm going here. Why am I saying this to this person? Why is any number of these things happening in my life, and I'm not quite at a point where I'm just gonna dial right in and go completely 100% certain of myself and what I'm doing. And so that's ultimately what we are aiming towards throughout the process that's outlined in my book and website and other outlets. And in most cases, that is a gradual unfolding, or a gradual process that has to be kind of slowly dissolved, because we're just so ingrained and conditioned into living a certain way that, we're not really even, first of all, questioning it, and then once it begins to be examined and looked at, then there's the sorting out of whatever kind of residual garbage that you've got in your human, the pain body, as Eckhart Tolle says, whatever that accumulated amount of default mode network activity that we're trying to release, the signal loss or friction, as I described earlier. So doubt has to be examined and lived through until it transforms into faith or trust. You can't choose to not have doubt. If you're confused and you have no idea what you're doing in your life, and you're lost and you're anxious, you can't you can't choose to be rid of that. It has to be gradually dropped over time. It has to be gradually experienced and allowed into your experience until that is brought to a point of complete doubt. So everything is really just about totality and being 100% one way or the other. If you can be 100% in doubt, then the mind will get shattered, and something else will enter, which can't really be put into words. We try to, but that is the true faith that we're looking for, and that's forged in the fires of enormous doubt and what is described as hell. If you're in hell, keep going, as Winston Churchill said. So that's it. There's no way out of the fire except through it. And the fire burns at a certain temperature, and it gets to a certain point, and then it transforms into light. Right now we're just starting to burn as a whole species. The fires are raging hotter and hotter, and so this is going to be the transformation of a whole species, essentially turning from that, or transforming from the scared animal full of doubt, and that fire that rages, and that will settle and eventually become a light. Love will take place. Love and faith replaces doubt and fear. So yeah, that's it. I don't know how to end these things.